everyone, it's Jane. Thank you so much for choosing my channel. We are on week 2 of August, currently inked. I may be a little late on this. I've had a lot going on with horse shows and that sort of thing. So I am trying to go through my fountain pen collection alphabetically with you all for currently inked and trying not to repeat pens if at all possible. I thought we would feature Troublemaker Inks this week, and because I have quite a few of those. I'm trying not to repeat those. I imagine I might have a repeat in there, but I'm not sure. So I'm pretty sure these inks I don't have in a currently inked video. I have them in pens. I don't match inks, so there might be a close inadvertent match, but usually I don't match them. I just try to see what might look decent. So what I thought I'd do is go through the pens and tell you what model name they are, and then tell you what ink's in them, and then I'll pause and we'll do a little writing sample and swatching. So this pen right here, my first pen, is I was so excited to get this pen. I got it through Piper Trading Company, which is a new place for me to buy, and I honestly can't remember how I heard about them, but I found this one on their site, and it's a Franklin Christoph new old stock. This is the model 46. And again, I don't know if they're still making model 46. I didn't check on their website, but this colorway is called Scottish Heather, and I ordered it with a broad nib because I don't have a Franklin Christoph broad nib yet. So I have a little story about the colorway on this and why I picked it. My husband and I went to Edinburgh, Scotland last winter. For a short trip with my son and my daughter-in-law, and it was the most magical trip I've ever been on in my life. I've never been overseas before. In fact, I feel like I'm kryptonite to go on a trip overseas, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. But when we got to Edinburgh, of course, I looked up if there was stationery stores there and where I could find a special fountain pen, and I couldn't find anything. But then again, we were only there a short amount of time. So when I found this Scottish Heather color, I just was delighted. So that's that. The reason I feel like kryptonite in international travel is my very first trip out of the country was supposed to be when I was in grad school at DePaul University. We had a concert lined up, concert tour in Yugoslavia lined up. And maybe a week before we were supposed to leave, the Gulf War broke out and the school canceled any travel for students. So didn't get to go on that trip. Then in 2020, and we all know what happened then, I was scheduled to go on another trip with a concert band with another university here in Michigan, and we were supposed to go to Paris and have a week-long concert tour over there. And again, about a week before we were going to leave, COVID broke out and the country got shut down. So, I just felt like I was kryptonite, but Scotland trip went off without a hitch. So anyway, let's get back to pens now with that long story. So that's the Franklin Christoph. My next pen is a Hong Dian N as in Nancy 8, and it's called the Red Maple. It's got a cute little maple leaf on the finial. And I got this off Amazon. It was very inexpensive, and I absolutely love this pen. The nib said it's a fine long blade. That's what they termed it, but I think it's an architect is kind of what I'm seeing in the writing samples. So that's the next pen. And then the next one is a Jinhao 1935 Tiandeo. I'm probably not spelling that or saying that correctly, and it's got a guitar clip on it. This was also an Amazon find. This pen's really great pen. I love it because it's kind of a bigger pen. And then they said that this nib is a spear. Don't know. But it is a juicy nib. I do like the nib, but that's what it said on the information when I ordered it. The next pen is a Jinhao 10. It's the retractable Jinhao, the inexpensive one, and I adore this pen. It's a fine nib. And then the next one I have is a Kilk, K-I-L-K, Orient, and this is in the Manila Sunrise colorway. I got this from Galen Pens, and this one just has a medium nib on it. I just realized I'm not telling you what ink is in there, but that's okay. We'll get to that. So that is the Kilk pen. I love the silver band around the pen. I think it's just beautiful. And then this is one of my Chicago Pen Show acquisitions. It's by Leather and Lathe, which is a Michigan pen turner. And I just, again, adore this pen. It's the Cascade model. I don't know the name of the colorway. I just call it the peach colorway, and it was one of the first that the wife poured or chose the coloring of. And I have a medium nib on this particular pen. This pen is super comfortable. And then the last pen is also from Piper Trading Company, and this is the Piper Second Empire Sunset. I think Second Empire is the model, and Sunset Beach is the colorway. And I chose a stub nib for this one. And the more I write with this pen, the more I like it. At first, I wasn't so sure because it was a little, it's a little smaller for me. I don't think, well, I guess you could post it. But it's a little smaller in diameter than I normally like it. But again, more I write with it, the more I like it. So I am going to go ahead and pause the video and get the inks out of their boxes, and we will do a swatch and writing sample. So hang on a second. Okay, so I'm ready to do some swatching, and I zoomed in just a little bit, and hopefully you'll be able to see that. And I'll try my hardest not to go off camera, but I'm not looking through the camera, looking around it. I'm going to use my Dominant Industry ink muddler, and then also Maverick Pen's nib holder, and I'm going to use the Colorverse Shuttle aluminum nib this time. Please forgive my hands. I bruised my hands up pretty good this weekend. I was at a horse show and just worked really hard and ground in dirt and bruised them. So please forgive that. Okay, so the first pen, again, is back to Franklin Christoph, and that's the Scottish Heather. And I have this inked up with Troublemaker Foxglove. I may have featured that ink before. I'm not positive about it. I know I have a sample of it, so it's possible that I did that. I don't know, but this is just a gorgeous color of purple. And if you're not familiar with Troublemaker inks, I think you should be, because they just have the greatest, shading qualities. And, oh, I'm not using, never mind about the Colorverse Shuttle nib, because I'm going to use the actual pen for writing sample, because, yeah. Okay, so this one is the, try to get a good angle here, Franklin Christoph. And it is a model 46, and it is a broad nib. And this is Troublemaker Foxglove. So that's how that pen writes. Beautiful, beautiful pen. And near and dear to my heart, I desperately want to go back to Scotland. Desperately. Don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would love to do that. Okay, so then the next pen is the Hongdian N8 in red maple. And this one is inked with, Kilom or Kylom. I'm not quite sure. You're welcome to correct me if you know the name or the pronunciation of that. We all know I suck at pronunciations. Don't know, just cannot seem to get it through my thick head to look up the phonetic pronunciations online before I come on here and tape these. So please know that. I don't mean to do it. That's the way it is. Okay, so this is the Hongdian N8 red maple. And it said this was a fine, long blade, but it writes very much like an architect. And then this is Troublemaker, what I said before, that I'm not saying correctly, so I just won't say it again. Okay, there's that one. I do enjoy this pen. I haven't written with this one in a while, so I'm glad to have gotten it out again. I think the colorway of it's really pretty. It's a very comfortable pen. My only complaint is that this maple leaf is not lined up with either the clip, it's just that kind of, if you're OCD, that could probably bother you a little bit. I'm not, but that would be my only complaint on this pen. All right, and so we got that one. Let me screw the lid down on this ink. All right, and then the next pen is the Jinhao 1935. It's got this cool guitar clip. Interesting thing about this pen is it looks like you could eyedropper it, but what this thing, it just seems like it's a, I guess you could eyedropper it, but this is a very thin plastic sheathing kind of. I don't know that I would trust to eyedropper it, but it's a thicker pen, a bigger pen. It's not heavy. It's very lightweight. Nice pen for the price especially. And then there's the finial on that one. Okay, and I've got this inked with hanging rice. So the weather here has just been nuts. I know I talk about that all the time, and I do apologize if you're sick about hearing me being sick about this heat that we're having. It's starting to calm down a little bit. My horse show that I had on Sunday was awful. I mean, the horse show itself was great. My horse was wonderful, but it was just so hot. I was wilting. Okay, he was too. Jinhao 1935. And let me look at my notes here to make sure that I'm spelling this part correctly. I think I am. T-N Deo. And then it says it's a spear nib, but again, don't quite know what that means. It writes, I would say like a typical medium, maybe borderline broad. Okay, Troublemaker hanging rice. So there is that pen. Very affordable pen if you want to look it up. I think they have other colors as well. Okay, next we have, this is the Jinhao 10 retractable. I don't know the colorway of this. They have a bunch of them, but it's a nice retractable and it's a fine nib. I have this inked up with, is that your ROM? Not your mom, but your ROM. Again, don't know. You ROM. The way it goes with me in pronunciations. Okay. So as you can tell, these inks are not really necessarily matching the pens, but I just wanted you to see the inks themselves because I think that they're really cool ink. They just change in their colorway, and the color of the ink and the shading I think is really awesome. Okay. I've been having a little trouble with my nib on this one drying out, so I just dip it in water and get it to write again. Jinhao 10, and it's a fine nib. I don't know if that's due to evaporation or what. And if anybody knows, I think there was a little hack or something that somebody used to put, maybe it was silicone grease or something. If you could let me know if you know what that is, that'd be awesome. Okay, so something's going on here because it's writing kind of pink, and that's not what is this. And I know I cleaned it. So sorry, this isn't a really great representation, but I do enjoy this pen when I can get it to work. Okay, next one we have is the Kilk Orient. It's that one again, and that's the one that has a medium nib, and I have that inked with yellow tartanella. And I thought the yellow might look good with that gold that's right here. If you're, if it is a matchy-matchy kind of thing, but I don't tend to be matchy-matchy anyway. I just saw Grace on Wildly Imaginable, her channel. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, I suggest you do that pronto because she's so much fun. She matched all her pens and ink this month, and she said, it's just so not me. It's just, I'm getting freaked out by it. But she did a nice job of matching her pens and her ink. She just didn't, I don't think she liked doing it. Okay, so this is the Kilk Orient Manila and Manila Sunset. And it's a medium nib, and this is Troublemaker Yellow Tartanella. So this ink is really interesting because it's kind of mustard colored. And so when you're writing with it, some of it is not entirely, it looks really light, but then the shading comes in and I just think it's really fascinating. Okay, so then the next one is Leather and Lathe Cascade model. I love how you can kind of get these little peekaboo through the resin, and then it's got little streams of some what look like confetti in there. It's really neat. I have this inked up with Damgo. And this one shades really nicely too. Putting down a little bit more ink than I normally do just so that you can see the shading a little bit better when it dries. Okay, so this is Leather. Am I on camera? Okay. Leather and Lathe. I'm just going to put Cascade Peach and try not to stick my hand in that wet ink. And then it's oh, this is a medium nib. Troublemaker, what did I just say? Damgo. And there's that one. I find this very, very comfortable. It's got a little bit longer of a grip section, and just, I love this pen. It's very nice to write with long periods of time. Okay, and then the last pen that I have is the Piper Second Empire. So you can get a look of that. It's very, very lightweight. Again, like I said, I got used to it pretty quickly, but I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do like it just because of how thin it is here. But I do enjoy it. It's shaped just right. And then this one is inked with Moon River. Now this might be another ink that I've used before. I'm not sure, but the other ones that I have that I had left of Troublemaker, I'm pretty sure I have in a currently inked. So I didn't want to reuse those because you've seen them already. Or some of you have. Okay, so this one is Piper Second Empire. Am I on camera? There we go. And the colorway is, what did I say? Sunset Beach. And it is a stub nib. And this is Troublemaker Moon River. Is that right? Yeah. Moon River. Okay, I'm going to let the inks dry and then come back and show them to you dry, or at least close to it. But you can kind of see already that they are making some pretty fun colors, even wet. So let me let it dry. I'll be right back. Okay, we're getting close. It's not quite dry yet, but I just wanted to show you all of these inks. So here's Foxglove. See how neat, I love that. And then this is that ink right here. See that one, and then the Hanging Rice has some interesting shading going on. And then we've got the Troublemaker Your Mom, whatever. Yellow Tartanella. So you can see what I mean about it. Just it's got this kind of mustardy halo and gets a little bit dark in the middle, and as you write, I love that. I know some people might not like the variance in the ink, but I love it. Then here's Damgo. And then here is Moon River. And it does write a little bit lighter than the swatch comes out, but if you have like a stub or a broad, it's a really nice, shows some different properties. I also wanted to give you guys a little update on something. I featured this in my Kirk Spear nib. I think I did my Spear nib video, the Wancher Puchico little pen, and I've been so it's eyedropper. That's what you're seeing through here with ink. I love this little thing. It writes so well. It's just got, I just think it's so cool. it's this tiny little pen, and you can get into these little lines, but yet you can still see the writing. So these are the little grids in a Hobonichi. I think this is what this little notebook is, or no, it might be I'm sorry, a Wonder. What is this one? Oh, it's a Wonderland 222. So I really am enjoying this pen. You wouldn't think so because it's just tiny, but it is just a lot of fun to write with. And for, it's just a cheap little pen, and I'm really having fun with it. So anyway, just an update on that little guy. All right, well, thanks so much for watching, and I'll have some more videos for you soon, so I will catch you next time. Bye.